Alceme, this I vow to you. I will love you forever, in this life and the next. I promise you.
Jason.
Training room! A sword!
I'll circle around. Meet you at the front.
He doesn't leave the room! Kill the king!
Jason!
Protect the king! He's a black tongue, Jason.
Stay here, Idas.
Leave me! You men, go with the king!
rise again. Jason, it's over.
Did I not do everything you asked of me? Why then? Here, of all places, on your sacred island, I do not accept it. If this is your will, I do not accept it. The Temple of IoIcus. Within stand the great statues of Zeus and Hera. Defend IoIcus and praise Zeus. These are the oaths of all who dwell here.
Jason, your uncle was looking for you. He wanted to know when you planned to give last rites to Alceme.
If I send her spirit to the underworld, I'll never get her back.
Get her back? How?
I don't know how. I don't have the answers yet, but there must be a way.
I wish I had the answers to give you. But perhaps I know someone who could. Someone whose business is answers. The Oracle at Delphi.
Delphi?
If anyone would know, it would be her.
Yes, the Oracle. Master Argos finishes a great ship as we speak. It will serve.
Delphi's not easily found, it's said. Does he know the way?
I don't know, but I aim to find out. Come, we'll ask him ourselves.
Oh, remember, your uncle is ahead in the courtyard. He wanted to speak with you. I told him I'd let you know.
Thank you. I'll leave you to your work.
Poor Thano. Sir, we'll have this garden looking better than ever. I promise you.
Carry on.
Technically weren't yet married. Mycenean has a claim. How can you be so cold? It's terrible enough what happened. Hera forbid I speak cruelly of that beautiful girl, and yet the facts are facts. King Jason, How can I express my sorrow?
Thank you for your sympathy.
My cousin and I were surprised to learn of the friendship between Hercules and yourself. How did you meet?
IoIcus is a land sacred to Zeus, Hercules' father.
Jason has been kind enough to offer his hospitality as the warden of Zeus when I've come to visit.
That's another thing. This warden of Zeus. What does that title mean?
All kings of IoIcus who complete the 5 trials of Zeus assume that title. In doing so, we swear to defend this land and the honor of Zeus against all threats. In some ways, it's a ceremonial title that reflects the strong attachment between Zeus and IoIcus.
But what does the warden do exactly?
One of the warden's most important duties is to perform a number of ceremonies in honor of Zeus. For example, the warden performs the first sacrifice of the harvest season each year. As the god of hospitality, Zeus demands that we also care for any traveler who arrives on IoIcus. The warden personally sees to the safety and well-being of those travelers.
Your hospitality is second to none. Are there other duties?
The warden is responsible for ensuring that the people of IoIcus receive justice. I often hear the cases of the people and offer judgment and arbitration. Another duty is to enforce the law and punish those who break it.
A truly noble calling. Is there more?
Most of a warden's time is spent training and preparing for situations we hope never arise. When a warden has a son, he turns to his boy's training, preparing him for the trials he is to face. That training is the basis for a lifetime of dedicated practice and devotion.
Such dedication. Is there anything else?
The Warden of Zeus is charged with defending the island of IoIcus. We take a sacred oath to never leave this land once we pass our trials, and to be ever vigilant against any threat. In return, each warden earns Zeus's protection. No warden has ever fallen in battle on IoIcan soil.
Fascinating. What else?
I'm sorry. I have some urgent matters to attend to. Perhaps we can speak of my duties some other time.
Oh, I see. Of course. How can you be so cold? It's terrible enough.
There you are, Jason. It's good to see you out of that mausoleum. It isn't healthy to linger over the dead, nephew. IoIcus needs its king. Captain Idas has finished his investigation. Petitions await, and we must set a date to give last rites to Alceme.
There will be no date for that.
What? Jason, I am your uncle, and I care for you. The will of the gods may be a mystery to us all, but to deny Alceme her last rites is unnatural.
Until I'm certain there's no way to bring her back, I will not do it.
Bring her back? Alceme is dead. You seek the impossible.
Our legends speak of heroes who have done wondrous things. Things that would have been deemed impossible until they were done. And of those deeds, the greatest were done for love. I'm going to Delphi, Uncle. I'll find my answers there.
This is the despair of grief. You're not thinking clearly. Alceme would not approve.
Pelias, you've always given me good counsel, so I'll say this once and I'll say it plainly. My mind is set to this. Either lend your wisdom to help me, or stay out of my way.
I understand your ardor, Jason, but have you thought this through? Delphi is not found on any map. Find 100 charts, and each will point a different way.
I would trust Argos' charts above any other. Hercules and I will go ask him ourselves.
Very well. I know better than to argue with you when your mind is set. I will consult our records about the location of Delphi, in case Master Argos doesn't know the way.
Thank you, Uncle.
Delphi, I pray you find the answers you seek, nephew. I will go to the royal court and maintain some semblance of order there.
Those Ionians must be mad.
to risk the wrath of Zeus?
They are barbarians who worship the old gods. They don't even acknowledge Zeus.
King Jason, my family and I grieve for your loss.
I thank you.
Some of the other guests and I were discussing the reaction of Mycenae to this tragedy. Do you think Mycenae will seek revenge for the loss of their princess?
Mycenae and IoIcus have long been allies. This tragedy is one we share.
You're right, of course. And yet, King Lycomedes is not known for his understanding. I'm curious, King Jason. Why was Alceme's father not present at the wedding?
He was occupied, mediating a treaty between neighboring islands. As king of Mycenae and a priest of Ares himself, his presence is enough to ensure peace between rivals.
I see. May Hera bless you.
Those Ionians must be mad to risk the wrath of Zeus.
Zeus protect you.
Barbarians who worship the old
And you, Photios.
They don't even acknowledge Zeus.
I have a message from Master Argos, sir. He says your ship is nearly finished.
Seems such a remote place to
He awaits your inspection aboard the ship itself.
Thank you. Was there anything else? You seem troubled today.
I think they were sending a message.
It's Thano, sir. My closest friend, and a good servant to you. He was killed in the attack. What's more, he died in my arms, and gave to me his final words, meant for his wife, Agatha. It isn't an easy message to bear, sir, and I've yet to find the resolve to do it.
Someone has to do it. The woman deserves that much. If you can't, I will.
I don't envy you the task.
They are barbarians.
What he told me, as he lay
They don't
dying,
even acknowledge
was that he always loved Agatha, even though he was not always faithful.
plunder.
He hoped she would remember him as a good man, if not a perfect one, and find it in her heart to forgive him.
Sending a message to all of Greece.
You see,
We must prepare
not
for
the easiest matter to
Iona would
address.
not be so bold as to look
It
west
is
for
delicate.
conquest.
So I
I'll give this message to Agatha.
It's unheard of. Attacking IoIcus.
Hail, King Jason.
Lieutenant of Ares, how goes the training?
Lieutenants Myron and Platon are putting the new recruits through their paces. They're rough, but they'll learn.
Perhaps I could teach them a thing or two.
Would you? Listen up, you men. You've a rare honor today. King Jason himself is going to show you how a warrior fights. This is one of our newest recruits, King Jason. Breathe, boy. Can't have you passing out before you started.
Don't be nervous. Try your best.
That's how you do it, men. Now you understand why he's the warden. Perhaps the king will show us how to fight against multiple opponents. King Jason?
Of course.
Right. You too.
Let's make it 3.
As you say, my king. You 3. Learn from the king. I hope everyone's paying close attention. You all have a lot of work to do. Some of the men were asking about how to deal with a spearman. Perhaps you and Lieutenant Myron can demonstrate.
Lieutenant Myron, when you're ready, have some of the recruits join you.
The spear offers reach and precision. Watch the king and learn, recruits. Watch how he reacts to my spear. You honor us, King Jason.
Idas taught me well, but it's up to all of you to train hard.
Another lesson? Against Lieutenant Platon and his mace, perhaps.
Lieutenant Platon, when you're ready, have some of the recruits join you.
The mace is a weapon of deliberate power. You men keep an eye on how King Jason contends with it. Well fought, King Jason. We can all learn much from you.
What do you say to one final lesson? My sword could use some practice.
Lieutenant Avarius, when you're ready.
The sword is quick and agile. Learn from the king and how he responds to my attacks. You're the best warrior on Iolcus, and you have been for some time. This has been an honor for us all, my king.
Hail, hail! Hail, hail! Hail, hail!
Continue your training. Remember, you fight for Iolcus, so honor her with your effort.
Hail, sir. The new recruits are raw, but they've got promise.
I heard you were the first to raise the alarm during the attack, Myron.
Yes, sir. I spotted those Ionians while patrolling the palace and made the call to arms. I just wish I could have found them earlier. Perhaps Queen Alceme would still be with us.
No, Myron. You did your duty. I'm grateful for that. You have no blame for what happened.
I thank you for saying so, sir. Work is the best remedy for tragedy, I believe. I'd best get back to helping these new recruits.
Hail, Warden!
Lieutenant Platon, Idas says you fought like a lion during the attack. Well done.
6 Ionians felt the kiss of my mace. Praise Ares.
I didn't know you were of Ares.
Aye, sir. Most of the guard choose Zeus as their patron. But I'm an Ares man, like my father before me. I find his blessings are best suited for this type of work.
And do you bring Ares virtues to the guard?
I do. And to be honest, I think the guard would benefit if more men did as well. The followers of Ares believe that a warrior who thinks long lives short. Cowardice and shirking comes from thinking. No, us Ares men believe in doing, not thinking. We speak plainly and act directly. That's the Ares way.
Ares is the lord of battle and courage. What of the patrols and regulations of a guard's life?
I'm not fond of them either, but there's more glory to be had here than on a farm. That was the choice I had, and it was an easy one to make. Besides battle and courage, Ares also rules over manliness, instinct, and virility. And those are traits that help a man in all walks of life, if you get my meaning.
As you were, Lieutenant Platon.
Ione would not be so bold to
No stone will ever capture your beauty.
Warden, sir, forgive us. We were speaking of matters that do not concern us.
What happened here concerns us all. You need not apologize. When we have certain knowledge of what took place, it will not be kept secret from the people.
You are as kind as you are wise, sir.
What do you think it means?
Hail, sire.
Guard Pathrus, what troubles you?
Grief, my king, for your loss and for mine. My younger brother Timaeus was killed in the attack.
Timaeus was your brother? He leapt in front of me and took an assassin's arrow. He died in valor.
His ambition went beyond a noble death. Captain Idas had just promoted him to be the guard's standard bearer. And now this. How can I face my father with such news?
Timaeus died for me. It's my responsibility to tell your father.
You'd do that for me? Speak to my father, Mycenean, at his farm?
Yes, but there is something you must do. Guard Pathrus, see that the spear of the Yulkan standard bearer is sent to your father in honor of Timaeus' sacrifice.
Such an honor would no doubt ease his suffering. My thanks to you, King Jason.
Distract the guards.
Perhaps I should do the same as a show of humility. Servant!
You were saying, my condolences on your loss.
Indeed.
I thank you both.
We've heard a rumor that the assassin, may he rot in Tartarus, was a Blacktongue.
Certainly that isn't true.
Captain Idas is finishing his investigation. We'll know more then.
The Blacktongues haven't been seen in a decade. King Lycomedes destroyed them.
It must be a mistake.
Gentlemen, if you'll excuse me.
Yes. Yes. Humility.
This is where I first met Alceme.
When you were children?
Yes.
Her father, King Lycomedes, left her in the care of my father while he was at war. 10 years she lived here.
Alceme, come back! She is willful, King. You must watch her carefully.
She'll be safe here, Lycomedes.
Indeed. No one knows. Not even my advisors. Alceme!
Are you spying?
Here, Father.
I see you've met young Jason.
King Lycomedes, sir.
Jason, word of advice. I know my daughter. You're going to have to keep your wits about you.
Come, Hercules.
A fire burned on Mycenae, fierce and strong and bright. King Jason, I am Antiphon, royal poet. May Hermes guide your path in these dark times. When I have felt the sting of loss, my devotion to the messenger has always been a comfort.
How so, Antiphon?
We often see Lord Hermes as the most light-hearted of the Olympians, a trickster, a storyteller, a rogue. But he is also the spirit guide. When I have lost a loved one, it helps to remember they pass through Hermes' care.
I imagine Hermes' virtues help you with your poems.
Without them, I could scarcely call myself a poet. Followers of Hermes place wit above all other qualities. As we like to say, strength wanes and beauty fades, but only wit grows day by day. We also value agility of mind and body. It's said the best poets and the best swordsmen all pray to Hermes for his blessings. Diverse company indeed.
It seems I find followers of Hermes in more professions than any other of the Olympians.
Poets and athletes, merchants and thieves, travelers and shepherds, Hermes watches over all of these. Then there are his more official duties. Messenger of the gods, lord of the four winds, guide to the spirits of the fallen, keeper of lore. And he also inspires the placing of herms, of course.
Herms. The stones that mark the boundaries of different places.
Yes, those are herms, but there are other types. Some herms simply mark the site of important or historical events. The followers of Hermes place these markers to keep a record of the deeds of men.
What poem are you working on now, Antiphon?
Ah, yes. I've been composing an elegiac verse to honor the memory of Princess Alceme. Perhaps the king would be willing to assist me?
What sort of help do you need?
I'm trying to find a worthy start. Which of her many qualities do you think I should treat first?
She did have many. But I would begin with her virtue.
The people of IoIcus knew her kindness well.
Very well. Let's see. A breeze blew in from Mycenae, a gentle kiss of air. Perfumed with tender kindness, it blessed these humble shores. But all too soon the air grew still. The breeze, it was no more. That wind, it whispered, Alceme, a queen as kind as she was fair. It's a start at least. To honor her, much work must be done.
If you seek to honor all her virtues, you have a very long poem ahead of you. I leave you to your work.
An honor, sir. That flame has since extinguished, but for those who saw it...
Jason! It's ill fortune to see me the night before our wedding.
It is ill fortune not to see you, any night or any day.
I'm told Argos' ship is almost ready for us. Where will we go first?
Alceme, I have sworn to watch over Iolcus.
I know, Warden. You have your duty. Fortunately, Iolcus is so perfect I could stay here forever. Now, King Jason, this humble princess of Mycenae is going to retire. And she does not expect to see you again until such time as you are ready to wed her.
Get your rest, Princess. I don't think you'll have much sleep tomorrow.
Well, that's up to you, but I hope not.
Is something the matter, Jason?
No, it's nothing.
King Jason.
Elpis, I didn't know you were among the injured.
Oh, it was nothing. I'm recovered, mostly. It's just my poor parents.
What do you mean?
My parents don't know what happened to me, nor do I want them to. They're old and in ill health. Why let them worry? Could you tell them I'm well? That I've just been too busy to see them?
Of course. Why burden them?
I knew you'd understand.
Rest now, Elpis. I'll speak to your parents.
What a view! You can see for miles here.
He didn't deserve this.
The sacrifices of those who died in defense of this land will never be forgotten. Be proud of your men and women, your sons and daughters, your kin. They honored their vows. May we give as much to honor our own.
Your father was a great man. I am sorry, Jason.
He's with my mother now, in Elysium. He lived a life of honor.
My father was very upset when he heard the news. Said that Greece had lost a great king. I agree with him, but I also think Greece has gained a great king. You outrank me now, King Jason. I don't know if I like it.
Alceme, marry me.
What?
Before I knew what love was, I loved you. Every second I look at you, I love you more. Marry me, Alceme.
Yes, Jason. With all my heart, yes.
I will find a way. Come.
Hail, King Jason.
Captain Idas, how are you feeling?
Better, my king. My pride was injured more than anything. Was a time those Ionian dogs wouldn't have had a chance.
You fought bravely, my friend. The odds were great.
I've got 3 things for your attention, Jason. First, we have the results from our investigation of the attack. Second, I've just received a report of a disturbance in the village. And lastly, there's a private matter I would discuss with you.
Let's hear the investigation report.
I'm afraid it's both disturbing and disappointing.
What's the disturbing part?
The assassin bore all the markings of a Black Tongue. His dress, his weapons, his tattoos, and of course, his marksmanship. Jason, I went to that balcony. There's not a bowman in Greece who could have made that shot.
Disturbing indeed. And the disappointing part?
We still don't know why he came. The Ionians? That's easy. They're mercenaries. They came for plunder. But why Alceme was targeted? What anyone could have hoped to gain from it? We've learned nothing.
The Ionians. Are we sure they were nothing more than hired mercenaries?
As far as we can tell. We traced this particular band back to Ithaca. They were there about a month ago to reprovision. Our sources say they spoke there of a new job they'd just been hired for. A well-paying job.
Idus, what do you know of the Black Tongues?
Just the common rumors, really. They're a cult that worships the dark titaness Hecate. Like the Ionians, they place the old gods above Olympus. For centuries, the Black Tongues were the most feared assassins in Greece. I don't know if you remember, but when you were a boy, Alceme's father, King Lycomedes, waged a war against the cult. Until this attack, everyone thought he had eradicated them.
Apparently not. What is this report of trouble in the village?
Apparently, Zeno of Thessaloniki has arrived on IoIcus. His brother Menander fell during the attack.
Yes. I heard he was among the guests who were killed.
As you can imagine, Zeno is none too pleased. Thessaloniki has never been a friendly neighbor. Those cheese-eaters have been jealous of Zeus's favor for as long as anyone can remember.
I remember this Zeno. Loud, arrogant sort. Fancies himself a general.
Aye. Well, he's down in the village shouting at anyone who will listen, demanding compensation for his brother. He's got a couple of men with him, and the guard who made the report says there was a witch with him as well.
What is this private matter, Idus? You know you may speak freely with me.
Yes, well, it's time for me to step down, Jason. I'm not the man I once was. This attack made me realize I've grown old. I can't ask men to fight for me when I can't fight for them.
More than any man in IoIcus. You've earned the right to choose when your time has come.
I've got 3 men in mind who could do the job. The sooner you make your choice, the sooner I can start training them to take my place.
Let's see the men who would attempt to replace you.
Lieutenants Ivarius, Myron, and Platon, step forward. These 3 are equal in rank and seniority. I believe all 3 could do the job.
Lieutenant Ivarius, speak your case.
I am Ivarius, son of a farmer from the plains. I've known no other captain than Idus. If chosen, I will strive to lead as he does. Honor and sacrifice will be the hallmark of your guard.
Tell me, Ivarius, how would you defend the palace?
I would do as Idus did. Spread the guard throughout to spot any attack as soon as possible.
What do you think of your fellow lieutenants?
Both are dedicated in their own way. I'll speak no ill of them.
Lieutenant Platon, speak.
Platon, born a fisherman, but destined to be captain. King Jason, your guards have grown complacent. It's time to make a clean start, break them down, and build them up again. Instill discipline.
Discipline without strategy only goes so far, Platon. How would you defend the palace?
To start, I'd have the guards off their asses and out scouring the island for the next threat. Those that must be here should be stationed in the royal court, the natural defensive point.
What do you think of your companions?
They mean well, I suppose, but they don't have the balls to do what must be done. No offense.
Lieutenant Myron, make your claim.
My name is Myron. I come from a family of shepherds. For 3 years, I've led the Night Watch. Far too many died in the attack. It must not happen again. The guard could not survive another blow.
Let's hear how you would defend the palace, Myron.
Pull back the guard to the palace's living quarters, where the most people are. Important officials, yourself, Master Polius, should have bodyguards at all times.
What do you think of your companions?
Dedicated, but reckless. In times such as these, we must be cautious.
What is your counsel, Uncle?
From what I know, each of these men is capable. My counsel is to pick one whom the men respect, and also fear. Platon fits that description.
I've made my decision.
Who will it be then?
Lieutenant Avarius, I name you Captain of the Guard. It is my wish that you strive to lead as Captain Idas has led. Nobly, honorably, and with dedication. May you always be first in battle and last to stand in our defense.
It will be my honor. May the leadership of Idas live on through me.
All three of you, I am grateful the Guard has men of your quality. Dismissed.
I thank you, Jason. I'm sure my wife, Cipriana, will thank you too.
After a few months with you around all day, she may change her tune.
I'd like to go tell her the news.
Of course. Let's finish our business, then you can go to the village. To be safe, let's keep the watch doubled, Idas.
As you say, Jason.
Nephew, what news?
Nothing yet. There's a disturbance in the village I must see to. And I must still speak with Argos.
When I have a moment, I will see what I can find about the location of Delphi.
Here did Iolcum, favored of Zeus, defeat the giant Typhor to claim these lands. Iolcum vowed that he and his descendants would forever honor Zeus and protect his sacred island. And so was founded the Kingdom of IoIcus.
Your palace would be at home among the great houses of Athens or Mycenae.
Again, Jason. Watch your form. Should I have Alceme show you?
Alceme? I'll do it.
He forgets I'm a daughter of Ares, Captain Idas.
How can I, when you so often remind me?
I think he's distracted. I wonder what's got his attention.
Perhaps he'll tell us.
All this talking, that's what.
Welcome, King Jason. May the blessings of Apollo's light shine upon you. What can Pandora, a humble fortune teller and follower of the sun god, do for you?
Does Apollo grant you the gift of foresight? Is that why you're a fortune teller?
I'm certainly not an oracle or even a seer, but I have some knowledge of the stars and their influence on men.
What of Apollo's virtues? Do they have an effect on your work?
Nobility of purpose, a studious and open mind, compassion. These are the virtues I strive to uphold. There is a reason good men ask Apollo to bless their shields. He favors those whose purpose is true and who fight only to defend what's noble and right.
And besides prophecy, why else do you follow Apollo?
Oh, Apollo rules over much more than that. He is the sun god, he who commands the sun. Civilization, music, and order. All of these are noble things.
What type of fortunes do you tell?
I ask a person questions about their relationships with their fellow man. Then I interpret their responses and align them with the constellations of the stars.
Let's see what fortune you can see.
A man's most difficult choices involve the relationships he has with others. Which of these relationships shall we explore first?
Let's discuss the bonds of family.
2 suitors vie for your daughter's hand. One is a prince who will lift your entire family in stature and wealth, but your daughter doesn't love him. The other is a lowly farmer whose land is poor, but whose heart is rich with your daughter's love. If she marries the prince, there will be peace for 100 years, but she will live a short and unhappy life. If she marries the farmer, she will live long and happily, but the land will be plunged into brutal warfare. To whom do you give your blessing?
I would give my blessing to whomever my daughter chooses as her husband. I would trust in her judgment and support her happiness.
In this matter, your answer aligns with the constellation Pygmalion, the sculptor. Of what shall we speak of next?
Speak of friendship, the bonds between comrades.
You are a poor guard, as is your closest friend. You learn that someone has stolen the devotional offerings from the local temple. You discover it was your friend who did this. His wife is very sick and requires medicine he cannot afford. He offers to split the money with you if you keep his secret. A large reward and a likely promotion await you if you arrest him. What do you do?
I would accept the offer. He is my friend, after all, and we both are needy. Devotions are meant for the poor in any case, so I'd just save the temple acolytes the trouble of distributing it.
Here, I sense the stars of the constellation Centaurus, the Centaur, in your response. Of what shall we speak of next?
Let's speak of my fellow men.
You are a shepherd. You suspect a neighbor who is neither kin nor friend of opening your gate and grazing his flocks on your land. This shepherd's pastures lie between yours and the great forest. The wolves have been emerging from the forest in force this year and have claimed many of his flock. The wolves have spared your sheep while they grow fat on his. What do you do?
I'd recognize that I benefit at his expense. He serves as a buffer between my sheep and the wolves. I would suggest that we work together to solve the problem.
I feel the sway of the constellation Libra, the scales, in your answer. Now we have only the matter of duty to discuss. You are a scout in a king's army. A neighboring kingdom threatens your border. A fragile treaty keeps the peace, and you have orders to honor it. On patrol, you spot a soldier from the opposing kingdom hurriedly racing back to his side of the border. From where he was on your side, you see a scratched pattern on the ground, a signal for an invading force. What do you do?
I'd chase after the soldier and slay him on his own land, treaty or no.
Your answer is guided by the constellation Lupus, the wolf.
So, Pandora, what fortune do you read in my responses?
For you, duty stands behind your personal sense of honor. Instinct is your truest guide. In society, the common good is the highest goal. You believe people should work together to solve their collective problems. Friends are valuable to you, for as they prosper, so do you. Together, friends can accomplish more than when they are apart. You would honor your family, and yet you would treat a stranger with equal respect and hospitality. You are guided equally by the constellations. There is a balance to your fortune. Wherever your path leads, you will take measured steps. Your choices have shed much light on the man who stands before me. I hope you have found my humble fortune illuminating in some small way.
I did. Thank you. I must be going, Pandora. Be well.
Apollo bless you.
Here, Diaphanes, renowned architect, was shown by Apollo the temple and palace he was to build. As he gazed up at the cliffs, he was blinded by a beam of light. Shielding his eyes, he saw the outline of ghostly buildings high above. And thus the palace of the kings of IoIcus was built to honor the vision he had been given.
Finally decides to grace us with his presence. King Jason himself! It only took you all day.
You are welcome on IoIcus, Zeno. What can I do for you?
You can spare me your honeyed words for a start. I didn't come all this way from Thessaloniki for your hospitality. My brother already suffered that fate.
I am sorry for Menander's loss. May he find his way to Elysia.
Not good enough. No, not by a long way, King of IoIcus. There must be compensation, tribute. Your lands here are rich. Your herds are fat. Clearly you've grown soft with Zeus's favor shining down upon you. Things are much different on the rocky soil of Thessaloniki. A hard life makes men tough. But you Yulkans wouldn't know about that.
Save your insults, Thessalonian. Why don't you just say what it is you want?
I will bring my brother's body home, and with it my ship will be full of yolken wheat and sheep. And then, each year, on the anniversary of Menander's death, you will send 10 girls on the cusp of womanhood to me. Never! This is what I demand in tribute to the memory of my murdered brother.
My guards fought valiantly to save all those who could be saved. Your brother's death was a tragedy, and I grieve his passing. But I will not compound that tragedy by paying you off and sending innocent girls to you.
You tell him, King Jason. I am not here to negotiate. If you refuse my demand, then my men and I will take our own revenge.
If there is no other way to satisfy you, then let us settle this between us.
I'm with Jason.
Then consider yourself challenged, Warden.
Name your terms.
My men and I against you and your behemoth. Your guards will take no retribution against me after I kill you. When you fall, I take my brother's body and the tribute I have named back to Thessaloniki.
No, don't do it!
And your stake?
I hold here my brother's mace, a weapon worth more than anything on Iolcus. Blessed by Poseidon himself. This will be my stake.
No one wants it.
No. You will swear here and now, before these witnesses, that your family will make no further claim for tribute. Should any try to do so, they will forfeit the honor of your family name.
Very well. So I swear. So swears Zeno of Thessaloniki.
Tell us when. You boys take all the time you need.
Jason of Iolcus dies today! Kill them! Finish it, you Yolken dog!
Take your brother home, Zeno.
I won't forget this, Jason.
Leave the mace.
What?
Your stake. Do you forget?
Bah! A curse on Iolcus!
It is a fine mace. Do you think it really was blessed by Poseidon?
Who knows?
One thing's certain. It'll see more honor with you than that fool.
Be careful, King Jason. He had a witch with him earlier. She may still be around.
A witch?
You don't know that, Thaddeus.
You should have seen her. Markings all over her body. And she was asking about the assassin.
More like demands, really. Did any of us see him? Where did he come from? She was very interested, all right.
And what's she look like?
Strange. Foreign-like. No Yolken woman would wear the dress she's wearing, I'll say that.
And she's got these markings, tattoos and such all over. Legs and feet and arms and face.
Dark hair, piercing eyes. Clean her up a bit. She could be passably fair, I suppose.
Why, you dirty old goat! That's enough of you.
Yanula, please. I'm just trying to give the king a good description.
Did she say what her purpose was?
We asked that. She said, Wolves always hunt in packs. Thought that a strange reply myself.
Mostly, she was just pressing. Almost brought my wife to tears. She's keen on it, I tell you. Intense. Like she's got urgent business.
Where is she now? Did you see her leave?
That we did. That Xenoman was yelling up a storm, and I saw her slink off.
It was real strange. She had her ears perked like she was listening for something. Then, all of a sudden, she pricks up, and she was off like a bolt toward the Crypt of Kings.
I heard her say under her breath, "I've got you now," as she ran off. I swear on Olympus.
Thank you. I'll find her and see what she's up to.
Jason.
Idus, how is village life suiting you?
It's only been a few minutes, but so far I think I can get used to it.
Get used to it? Is it that difficult?
It's Elysium, Cypri. There, happy?
I'll leave you two to your business. Come, children.
So, what are you going to do without the guard?
Farm.
Farm? Farm what?
Grapes or barley. Haven't decided yet. Barley practically grows itself, so I'd have more time to fish or hunt or just sit with my children. But grapes, now there's a challenge that could keep me occupied. Give me something to do with myself.
You deserve to rest, Idus. Plant the barley. I'll see that grapes are sent to you.
As my king commands, barley it is. Been a while since I've gone fishing. I hear you're leaving, Jason. Heading for Delphi.
I'm going to bring her back, Idus.
I pray you do. Here, Jason. I've given this a great deal of thought, and... my sword. I want you to have it.
Growing up, training, I used to marvel at this sword.
I know you did. But remember, weapons are only as good as the men who wield them. This one, it's a good sword, and it served me well. But with you, I think it can become a great sword.
I am honored, my friend.
Thank you, Jason.
Keep him out of trouble, Cipriana.
Keep him fed, Cipriana.
I can do a cartwheel. You want to see? Maybe later.
Be good, Zarya.
I want to go swimming and dive off the docks. But Argo says I'm getting in the way.
You're looking more like your father each day, Yanni.
Look, heroes, it's the king.
What could he be doing here?
Oh no, please, no! Help us! Is she...
Elpis is fine. With all the chaos, she's been too busy to send word.
Oh, praise Zeus.
We've been so worried. You've lifted a great burden from us, sir.
Before I set sail, I'll leave instructions for her to come visit you. Here was born Amphinome, wife of King Trion. Though a farmer's daughter, she was gifted by the gods with beauty and virtue. Such was her grace that Hera blessed her union with the king, and so she became Queen of IoIcus. My mother. A fine queen indeed. Here landed King Trion's spear, humbling the Athenian Alceme. Drunk from the king's feast, the famed warrior boasted that no Iolcan man could match his throne. For the honor of his kingdom, King Trion took up his challenge. Great Athena lent Trion her skill, and he unleashed a throw so mighty that boastful Polyside was stricken mute with shame.
I was raised in a village like this, a long time ago.
Here lies the Crypt of Kings, the final resting place of the royal family of IoIcus. In this crypt are kings and queens, wardens and champions of Zeus. May their honor live forever.
Live on your many fabuiae!
The great Medea, how far the mighty have fallen. Your power has grown feeble.
Has it? Io Bethlehem uomo finari. Forgive me. I lost myself again.
Are you all right?
I am weak, but it will pass.
That black tongue called you Medea. I assume that's your name?
It is.
It's time for answers, Medea.
Then ask your questions, Jason.
What are you doing on IoIcus?
Ridding your kingdom of that black-tongue filth.
How did you know he was here?
When I heard of the attack here, I came as quickly as I could. Their assassins never work alone.
How would you know that?
You see the markings I still bear. Are they not answer enough? In another life, I was one of them. Until I realized the powers I gained came with a terrible price.
Your sorcery nearly killed all of us. Do you have no control over it?
There was a time no follower of Hecate could hope to match me. Now when I call upon the full might of my powers, it threatens to overwhelm me.
What do you plan to do now, Medea?
Continue my work. Hunt or be hunted. That's your fate if you leave the Blacktongues.
My wife's father thought he hunted them to extinction.
Lycomedes.
You know of him?
I know that a prophecy he was given is the reason the Black Tongues killed your wife.
A prophecy? What prophecy?
When your wife was born, King Lycomedes traveled to Delphi and spoke to the oracle Pelagia. Whatever he was told, it got the Black Tongues' attention. Assassins were dispatched to both Mycenae and Delphi. Lycomedes thwarted the attempt on your wife, and the assassin Lysander failed to eliminate the oracle Pelagia. It's said he fell in love with her, and together they fled, never to be seen again.
So that's why Lycomedes waged his war.
Yes. His name was cursed by every Black Tongue in Greece.
Medea, I seek to restore my wife. The Black Tongues are at the heart of what's happened here. Your knowledge of them would be helpful. And in return, I offer you allies in your fight.
If you try to bring her back, the Black Tongues will flock to you like moths to a flame. There'd be no need to chase after them.
Go to my ship. Tell Argos to give you a room.
Jason, are you sure about this?
Your friend is right, Jason. I am not safe to be around. I sometimes lose myself, as you have seen.
We can keep your power warded. That is, if you are willing.
It would be the only way. Very well, King of IoIcus. I will hunt with you and lend what aid I can. I will prepare the wards to secure your ship.
Far too much sorcery being cast about for my liking. Why did you ask her along, Jason? How can you trust her?
There are forces at work we know little about. Prophecies, Lycomedes, the Black Tongues. Knowledge I can hold on to is an advantage. Besides, you saw what she did to that assassin. This is the war armor of the kings of IoIcus. Last worn by my father, Trion. I have never had occasion to don this armor. I'd hoped I never would. But IoIcus needs me now. Her queen needs me. The journey ahead may be difficult. This piece of IoIcus will journey with me.
When the way ahead looks daunting, remember who you fight for. IoIcus is more than its fair fields and proud bluffs. It is mother to us all. We do not stumble over mountains, my son. We stumble over stones. Step safely over every stone, and you will cross the mountain.
Now, to see about our ship and Delphi. To the docks.
Now that is a boat.
Sinon, listen to me. We have family in Thrace. We'll be welcome there.
We can't just leave. IoIcus is our home.
Your father is gone, Sinon. Our lives must continue.
But only on Thrace? No, Mother. Here is where my father is buried. Here is where I'll honor him.
Sinon! Forgive my lack of cheer, King Jason.
Are you Agathe, widow of the servant Thano? I have a message for you. Your husband's dying words. His message was simple. He loved you. Always. From the moment you met. He asked that you remember him as a loving husband and father, and hoped his son Sinon would live to honor him.
Thank you for telling me, King Jason.
If there's anything I can do.
My son and I have each other. Nothing else can help right now.
On this spot did King Iolcum slay the Phrygian war chief. Turning back the marauders, Iolcum defended the sacred sites of Zeus from harm. The Phrygians were scattered to the seas, never to threaten again.
That way is Mycenean. 3 weeks' voyage with a swift ship.
My father says you're to go home soon.
I miss Mycenae. But there's a part of me that doesn't want to leave.
Will you be back?
Someday.
Welcome.
Do I speak with Menason, father of Timaeus?
Aye, and Pathros too.
It is only Pathros now. Your son Timaeus is dead.
Dead?
He lost his life in my defense.
I see.
Your son had recently been chosen as our standard bearer. Did the guard deliver his spear? The spear upon which is borne the Iolcan standard.
Aye, it was sent down. Thought I was meant to hold it for Timaeus. My son, he was... Since he was a boy, it was the guard this, the guard that. All he ever wanted was to serve you. Though he no longer lives, that spear may still serve. Please, keep it in his name.
In Timaeus' name, I accept this spear. And let he receive the glory of the work it does.
You do my family honor. Should you see Pathros again, tell him I know he did all he could.
I'll see that Pathros comes to visit you himself.